Okay, folks, welcome to the instructional video for the new swing algorithm. This algorithm is designed to get you into and out of nice long swing trades using the daily charts. Now, there's a nice pool of stocks we've already found that this works great with, along with the settings for them, which will be available in our Discord. Now you see what I have pulled up here, SPY. You'll see the chart with the entries, exits, take profits, etc. at the top, and down at the bottom is the equity curve. What you want to see on any backtested chart, you start in the lower left and you go to the upper right, which means along the way you've gone from your starting value of, in this case, $50,000 all the way up to the maximum profit, and over time you never drew back down below your starting number. The curve should be as smooth as possible. In this case we got a little bit of a bump. That's all right though, and you should endeavor to make it as smooth as possible in all the settings. Though we can see here, I'm going to go through this real quick just so you understand. You have net profit in the upper left corner. Now keep in mind this is trading SPY using just SPY shares, and it was only using a small portion of equity in the account, which was a $50,000 account, and SPY shares are very expensive. So these trades taken with options or with larger number of shares, however you'd like to do it, and you can see here these long entries are only 26 shares or so. Taken differently, this, for example, using options, you would have a much higher net profit. So this on some tickers is really just for you to contrast and compare. On others, you might use this as an actual number. We have the total closed trades right here, 177 trades, and this is going back over about 22 years. So you see it does find trades, it finds several per year usually, but it doesn't find them all the time, and there's a reason for that. Percent profitable, 74% win rate with a 2.9 profit factor. 2.9 profit factor means that your wins on average are 2.9 times larger than your losses. Your max drawdown here is the reduction from a new high down to a new low. So for example, right here, we had achieved a new high in the profitability in the account, and it drew down to here. This drawdown is the max drawdown of 1,369, or better read, 2.39%. You always want to take a look at that percentage and work to get your drawdowns as low as possible. On TradingView, this red area at the top is your drawdown area. You always want a nice separation between your profit and your drawdown. That's the amount of win per average trade and the average number of bars in each trade. In this case, the average number of bars in our trades is 31 bars or 31 days. I'm going to look here under the performance summary. This tells you the aggregate numbers of all trades, and then we have them separated out between long and short. We'll go ahead and zoom down here. Now you can kind of ignore the Sharpe and Sortino ratios on some tickers, for example SPY, because SPY would have made much more money if you had just bought and hold as compared to buying small lots of shares here and there. And again, that is the difference between looking at this with shares and actually trading the signals with something like options that are leveraged. Okay, so we can come down. The first piece of useful information that we'll find here is going to be the profit factor. You're going to find shorts and longs typically have different numbers. Okay, we can go down and we can see total closed trades there. You can see we have much fewer shorts than longs, and that's because over time the market really only goes upward. It has short periods of time that it goes down, but in the long term it really just goes up. So you're almost always going to have more longs than you do shorts. That's not to say the strategy doesn't work on shorts. It works fine. As you can see, we have an 86% win rate with a 3.1 profit factor. So it works fine. We just don't get them very often. On the other hand, you're often going to find that percent profitable may be a little lower on longs, and that's because you have a lot more longs. But even though you have a lower win rate, with the profit factor over 1.0, you're still going to make more money on those with the additional trades, even if it has the lower win rate. Okay, so you can look through here, find your average winning trade, average losing trade, and these will help you adjust in just a minute. I'm going to go through the settings, but these can help you adjust where your stop losses should be. And down here at the bottom, this is really important, average bars in winning and average bars in losing trades. You can see here, average bar on a winning trade, 36 on the long side, average and losing is 12, and that carries over onto the short side. Average bars in winning trades are 42 days. Average bars in losing, only 9. And this is very important because it gets us out of losing trades quickly. It does not hold us in these trades and cause us big losses. That's why our profit factors are nice and high. And that's one of the things that we want to be aiming for. Now, on TradingView here, we also have this list of trades right here. You can come in here, look through all the list of trades. So if you had one particular area on your graph that you were seeing a big drawdown, you can go through the list of trades and see how it traded it. Sometimes the indicator or the strategy is a little funky, and you can see that as a human trader, you may not have done that. So, use that with a grain of salt, right? Now, I'll show you how to adjust it. Stock, just as you boot up the indicator right here, it comes with all of the settings pre-programmed for SPY, and that's because I trade the S&P 500 the most, so that's what it comes with. But this can be used on a wide variety of tickers. And thankfully, because this is written as a strategy, you can actually go back and backtest all these tickers and change the settings around yourself. We'll go look at Amazon. All right, now when we first boot up Amazon, this looks wonky, doesn't it? Look how it changed. That looks bad. Although it does go from down here at 50,000 to up to the top here, making a new high, which is good. This still doesn't look great. We're at 72% profitable and a 1.6 profit factor. But thankfully, and I did some of this math earlier, we can actually fix this and make it look really good. So when you go to backtest a new stock, there's kind of a systematic way to do it. And I'll show you that now. You'll go up here to the settings, pull this up, and right here at the top, you've got tooltips. You'll read the tooltip, and you'll notice this actually includes the instructions. Steps 1 through 7, they're all right in here if you forget. No problem. All right. Now, the very first thing that we want to do is make sure, first of all, that we're on a ticker that uses volume. Of course, Amazon does. An example of a ticker that doesn't use volume is going to be a Forex ticker. Typically, they have no volume. So you'll need to turn off CVD information. The CVD information, and you can see how that chart changed below us. It looks even worse. CVD information includes the volume data from our CVD indicator. Very important to use this on any stock that has volume, and the only reason you can turn it off is so that this can be used on stocks that don't. Tickers that don't. Okay? Then the second thing that you're going to do is adjust the long-term moving average. Now, this uses a long-term moving average to help it determine where it's going to allow only shorts and where it allows only longs. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. We can show it here on the screen. Now I've done some testing and I know that the 200 SMA is best for Amazon. What you would do is you would go back and look at it, and what you try to figure out is when it crosses under it, does it make a sustained move? We can see here crossing under it, yes, it made a sustained move. Here, these moves moved a little bit and we did get some profits on them. They were okay though, right? So it was bouncing off of it. Over here, look how long it was above the 200 SMA. It came above it. It was above it for a long time. Below it over here, etc., etc. So you want to look through here and find which one of these is going to work best. SMA, which is of course your simple moving average, your EMA, your exponential, your WMA, which is your weighted moving average, and your HMA, which is your whole moving average. I would suggest switching between the EMA and the SMA at first, seeing what you can get. And of course the length. This is a long-term moving average, and I like the 200. A lot of times I like the 200 SMA and EMA because a lot of other traders use them, and they tend to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Next, we can go back to our instructions here, and what we'll do is look at number 2. From there, adjust the short-term length and factor to find the highest win rate and profit factor. So, these right here. After it finds that long term and figures out whether it wants to go short or long, it then uses calculations to find the short-term trend. And then what you're going to do is adjust these to dial that short trend in. You have the length, so longer here makes makes the trend longer, and shorter here is going to react to price changes much quicker. The movement factor is how much the price has to move to cause a change in the trend. That's a decent way to understand it, but what we want to do is adjust this for the best profit factor and win rate. Now the trend length we'll leave at 6, and we'll move this up a bit, and we should start getting better profit factors and win rates. See that down there. Now I happen to know, I see profit factor over 2 right there. I happen to know that the right number for this is 4.4 on Amazon, and there we go. We can see we come up to 2.3 profit factor. Now look, the chart's a lot more agreeable. We still have work to do, but it's a lot more agreeable, and our win rate is at 73. Basically, you're going to move this thing around between 2 and 5, somewhere around there, and just keep trying numbers until you see that. Okay, with the short-term trend length, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to move it around and see how it changes the curves. Now, I know 6 is best for Amazon, and again, there's a list of the ones that we've already found available in our Discord so that you can just apply these numbers without having to go through this whole process. All right, we'll go back to the tooltips. Next, number 3, adjust the volume length to find the highest win rate and profit factor. And it's important you do this while you pay attention to the smooth upward equity curve, like I just said. So, we have the CVD information here, and I know that Amazon likes to respond to volume a little bit quicker. So we'll take this down. Now this is the analogous to the fast moving line on the CVD, and you see our profit factor increased, and our percent profitable is still about 73. The profit factor increased a little bit. This is analogous to the fast moving line on the CVD, if you'd like to go look at that. So, now we'll look at multipliers. These are the risk multipliers, the first one. So this finds its stops, and for example, here's a stop right here. Okay, it finds stops, or I'm sorry, this is the stop here. It finds them based off of a volatility calculation, and this is the multiplier that you use to find it. It's different for long and short because frequently one of those will be better than the other one, or excuse me, it will have a higher win rate, or you'll need to let it go further with the stop before it moves into profit. They just need to be adjusted separately. Now, on Amazon, I happen to know that for the long risk multiplier, we want about 1.8. Watch the chart change a little bit. See how it smoothed out quite a bit? You see that? Our profit factor went up to 2.5, and our win rate went up to 77. And I know that we can take the short risk multiplier quite a bit lower and still maintain good numbers. Now with this, you want to take this as low as it can get without hurting yourself, right? So we'll take it down a little bit. See, we have lower percent profitable, lower profit factor. Let's bring that back up. 2, 3 actually goes lower profit factor. 4 comes up a little bit. 5 comes up a little bit. 6 is up a little bit. So let's try 1.6. We're getting a 2.8 profit factor right there. Let's try 1.6. We'll leave that there. Next is the break-even multipliers. This is the distance that it has to move into profit before it will set its stop at break-even. And you can see one right up here. Kind of zoom in on the chart. It's kind of hard to see because it's clumped. But what happened was it entered here, went up here, took a little bit of profit, took a little bit more profit here, And then as it came back down, because it had gone so far already into profit, it went ahead and stopped out when it hit its break even. Okay, that keeps you from taking green trades into the red. So that will help your overall win rate and profit factors. Now on this, let's see, I think the break evens were 1.7. Yep, the profit factor went over 3%, profitable up to 80%. And let's see, the break even multiplier here, we'll take it down a little bit. And let's see if we can get any change. Okay, that right there hurt us down to 1.3. Let's see, 3 to 1.4. That brings us back up. And then you want to give it just a little bit of room. So we'll go to, say, in this case, we'll keep it at 1.4. That should be about right. All right, and lastly, the take profit size. And you can see here under the tooltips, number 5 is the break-even multipliers, and then number 6 is the take profit size. And what this controls is the percentage of the position that gets closed every time it gives a small take profit. So you're going to notice this here, small take profit, it says long small target. So when it finds an area to take profit, it will pull a little bit of the position off. And this is to help gather profits as it moves up. So when you have something like this, look at this one. We entered here, we took profits way up there, and then it came down and it stopped out. Just a little bit below its entry, actually. But it had already taken off a bunch of shares, so that was probably a profitable trade. And that's why we do that. Now, there's reasons why we want to adjust this. If, for example, on the short side, we're really weak and it doesn't have very long of trades, say it only has 12 bar trades on wins on average, then we can put that short take profit size up way high. Or the long take profit size, say it likes to run out those long trades for forever. We can turn this nice and low so that it'll have more available at the end of the trade to close all in profit. There's a lot of reasons to change these around, but that's just a few. And as you use this thing, you'll discover exactly how these kind of fit into it. But that's kind of how I use them. So let's see, I believe we can drop that to 10. Let's see, 3.2. Yeah, so if we drop this to 10, see how our profit factors changed? Came up to 3.2. A lot more on the net profit over there, and now the profit factors come up because we're taking less off in those little targets, and it's holding more till the end. The short take profit size, let's see what happens if we drop this to 10 from 20. And we're at 3.2 profit factor right now. Let's drop this down. So that actually decreased us a little bit, and we're a couple thousand lower on net profit, which means it behooves us to take larger profits off on shorts than on longs. So let's see, 3.2 here, net profit at 36. Let's jump up to 30. 3.36, you see that? Up to 37. Let's try more. 40. And you can see 3.42 and 38,000 in profit. Okay, we're getting better here. Max drawdown at 3,000, 3.5%. That's not bad. Let's keep moving this up. And that keeps going up. Now, I believe the number we found on this was 70. Pretty high. Okay, there's 70 right there. That drawdown's down to 3,000. Let's push it to 80, just see what it does. Okay, that's hurting us. So we'll go back to 70. He looks okay. Let's try 60 again. 65. Change. 70. Okay, 70 doesn't look bad. So right here, we've gone through all of this. Oh, and lastly, I'll state the backtesting start and end time. What you want to do is set these to dates that are relevant for your stock. So if you were backtesting AMD, for example, AMD didn't really start to trade hot until 2018. So you would change this to about 2018. And the reason for that is that you want to backtest the stock while it is trading as it currently trades. Because over time, the personality of stocks tends to change. And as it changes, they respond to technical indicators in different ways. So that's very important to make sure that those dates are right. In this case, we're backtesting 22 years on Amazon because Amazon has been, since the very beginning, it's been a very interesting company. And what has worked since the beginning continues to work now, as you can see by this chart, which never went below its opening number. I don't think this went below it. I think this, no, it actually did. It went slightly below the opening number. And then it never did again. So we can start down here, and it's just this solid upward curve until the very last trade, which was indeed a brand new high in this on this. So there we go. 80% profitable trades with a 3.5% profit factor on Amazon. Now what you do is you get a whole bunch of stocks like the list that we have. You put them all together. You can stick alerts on them. You can make a watch list out of them. Check them once a day, see if there's entries or exits or whatever it's doing, and just slowly manage your swing trades like that. It's a great strategy for anybody who doesn't have a ton of time on their hands, can't sit in front of the computer all day, or just want something that is low maintenance. And what's good about this is there's no subjectivity in general. It's just do what the algorithm says to do. And over time, it makes money. That's all there is to it. So there's no subjectivity. You don't have to worry about anything. You just follow the algorithm. That's it. All right, that's all about the Swing Trade Algo. I hope to see you in the Discord room. Of course, if you'd like to have a 7-day free trial to the Discord room and all of our indicators, go ahead and sign up at tradersultimateedge.com. There's a link in the description below. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe, please, and have a great day.